Hey everybody, it's Bacon and welcome back to my YouTube channel and my hardcore Minecraft series. Boy, we had an exciting episode last time. We came and found and conquered the spider spawner with some dicey fence work. And yeah, so I think I'm ready to turn that into a little mob grinder. I won't do a super fancy job of it, but we will do a little bit. Let's get this loaded up. There we go. So I haven't really done anything off camera except get some more melon. I'm so glad to have these. Yes, spider spawning that way. Alright, so what do I need to take with me? Definitely want fence. Boy, I got a surplus of food now. How about that? Wow. Well, gonna need some blocks and our fence, and well, I think that's about it. Alright, let's head down and see what we can do. First things first. Wait a minute. There's a chest. Sweet. How did I miss that last time? Oh, yeah. Y'all are probably yelling at me at home. You've missed the chest. Open your eyes. Alright. Dude. There's bread right here. Like, you know how useful that would have been? This is a pretty sweet chest. Lots of iron and pumpkins. Not super useful yet, but when it comes time to go to the end, it'd be really nice to have pumpkins. Alright, cool. Let's go and grab some of this gravel while I'm here. And I'll use the dirt to get back up. Hope you guys are enjoying the series. Let me know if there's anything I can do differently. I've done a lot of podcasting in my day, but YouTube video game movies are a new thing for me. So, alright, wrong way. I need to go this way. Okay, so the thing with this is there's still darkness around. So I'm going to come through here, and there's quite possibly going to be more spiders spawning. The ones that were already there should have despawned by now. But with that, yeah, see, because there's dark areas nearby, and I worry about spiders popping up down like that. Oh, where did you come from? And are there more of you? Alright, I think we're good. I think we're good. I hear a spider, but I'm gonna go ahead and assume it's not a cave spider, but I do need to go down here, which is also nerve-wracking. Health is regenerating. I'm doing pretty good. Oh yeah, spiders would love it down. Look at this one right below the spawner. Oh, freaking bat! Scared the crap out of me. I do not like bats. Screw their cuteness. Oh, hello. This is a cool room. I don't know if y'all have seen these before, but these big open rooms like this, I'll go in there in a second. Let me secure this area, make sure no danger's coming. Lots of wood down here. That's pretty sweet. Gotta torch things up. That's what area looks like. I will come back there later. Yeah, and there's more ores about. Creeper down there. I think I can ignore them though. Yeah, so when you're in an abandoned mine shaft and you see the big room like this, this is considered the origin of the mine. So it's kind of like the mine's kind of meant to start from this room and then branch off, which I think is kind of cool. When I first saw them, I kind of always figured it was some sort of chunk error or something, because it's like too square, you know? It's very oddly shaped for natural terrain generation, and then all of a sudden there's this big square room. Kind of interesting that there's this cave vein going right through the middle of it. But I like this room a lot. In fact, I think I'm going to end up relocating here because it's such a clear area. It's already got, I mean, I'm either going to put a base here or at least put farming here. I mean, look at this. Perfect room for farming. And I need coal. Alright, so the cave spider spawner area looks pretty clear. I think it's lit up enough. So it's time to go shape it and start controlling where the spawns go. Actually, I'll just come back there later. Oh yeah, that's what I was doing. Sticks. Boom. Torches. I love it. Okay. I gotta explore all these side rooms. Ones like this, I could get dive bombed there, so that makes me nervous. But I'll come back. Alright, back to the spawner. Where did I come down from? Down on one of these? It's so easy to get turned around. I think it was right here. That works, even if it wasn't. Okay. Alright, so cave spiders spawn right through here. Any spiders? Hello? No, we're good. Okay. Time to clear it out. For simplicity's sake, I'm going to build up this area and then I'm going to have them spawn out of there and flow right down here, and right in this area we will make a collection pit, so to speak. So let's fill this in, cut down the wood. Oh yeah. So I need to start thinking about what the end content is going to be. Like, how far do I want to take this series? I think I've already proved that I can survive, you know? I mean, I'm starting to... I mean, once you're at the point that you're taming a spider spawner, it's pretty clear that you're doing okay. So, how far do I want to get before I call it done? And I'd like to come up with some sort of a standard measure to say this seed has been conquered, and then we can use that same standard in other maps, in other worlds. So I'm thinking maybe just surviving, building some sort of a large building, and then killing both the bosses. Yeah, that sounds reasonable. If there's, I mean, I could fill it up with arbitrary things like, you know, collect 64 wool and yada yada, but I don't really think that's necessary. I think everybody just wants to see the boss fights anyway, so we'll do that. Thinking for other video series too, we could do things like have some arbitrary restrictions and have you all suggest things like, for example, do a hardcore world without ever using a weapon, for example, and see how I could survive. So, you know, basically I'm looking for ways to make default vanilla Minecraft just a little bit harder, and I think I can turn that off now. There we go. I hate having the I love the waypoints, but I hate having them in my face all the time. It gets old. Okay, so basically I'm just making the room bigger here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to clear a spot 3 wide on each side. 1, 2, 3. So like that wide. I'm going to make a square around the thing. And yeah, we'll make a square there, and we will shape it thus and so that things can spawn in here. Now, if I was making this later on, I'd be adding redstone to it, you know, have some like an on-off switch for the lighting, that sort of thing. I won't be able to do that. I'm just going to have to watch my mini-map for the waypoint here to make sure that I'm not getting within spawning range when I'm just out and about doing stuff, because that can get deadly. You know, honestly, I've not done a ton of research about what spiders are capable of, so I think my design that I've come up with, and I'm sure I'm not the first to do it, it's really simple. So it's not like my design for the room here is not any sort of rocket science. I think it's reasonably safe. I think I'll find out if spiders start getting through it or something. I'll find out if it's safe or not, but I think it's pretty safe. The thing is, you know, it's kind of hard to find a good setup for a cave spider spawner because the stupid space requirements, man. These things, not only do they fit through a 1x hole, they fit through a half size too. So you can't like if you've got a hole here and there's a cave spider on the other side, you can't put a half block right there and oh geez, I need to turn off Steam, don't I? You can't just put a half block and hit the spiders through it. I tried that, and they can jump at you right through that half block as if the half block is not even there, which was like, what? Like, I would love to ask Mojang if that is intentional or if it's a bug. Seems kind of ridiculous to me, but what do I know, right? I'm just a player, not a Java developer. Though that'd be pretty cool. For the record, I am a developer. I just don't do it with Java. I'm a Microsoft guy. C# and whatnot. I do web development, but that's not what you came to hear about. I don't want to talk about work. That's boring stuff. So, yeah, let's get a ceiling here. You gotta remember with spiders, unlike like a zombie spawner or something, spiders can climb walls. And so you got to be careful about the shape of the room. In fact, I might want this even one block lower. You can, if you're not careful, you can set up a room that is not very efficient because all the spiders just start derping in the corners instead of flowing into the channel where you want them. Alright, so now I put lots of torches around the walls because we are about to put water down to get them to flow out this way. But first we drop the floor one layer. And the reason why we do this is because so the channel is going to be coming out this way, right? We're going to make a path for them to come out this way. Well, if a spider were to spawn back here and there's water pushing them, it's going to get stuck right here. And, you know, eventually it'll hop around and catch into the flow and go. But you don't want any roadblocks like that for efficiency's sake. You want everything to kind of flow into where you want it to go pretty effortlessly. Because otherwise you can also get traffic jams. You know, you'll have like one monster that's plugging up the works and everything else is getting stuck behind it or whatever. That is always obnoxious to deal with. And if you do this right, shouldn't be much of a problem. Just gotta fill all these holes. My next fear is I'm afraid that I'll be going about just doing general mining and I'll end up underneath here and not realize where this is and break a hole into the spawner room, which I have definitely done before. Not fun and can be deadly, because if I'm mining in this area, you know, spiders are spawning the whole time and that could be bad. So yeah, we want the water to be one block underneath it so that nothing's getting stuck on the spider. Another thing, and I do this for all of my mob traps like this, I always make a pillar from the spawner up to the ceiling, because it's a little known fact that monsters such as creepers can actually spawn on the top of a spawner cage. And that, I think, is a bug, because I mean, look at it. It's clearly a transparent block, right? There shouldn't be monsters spawning on top of it. And yet, they do. And it's actually rare. They don't spawn nearly as quickly in that environment as they do in the normal world. But they do just the same. Alright, so this is nearly ready. Need to get some water. I don't know. I don't have a spring here. I don't remember where the next closest water is. But alright, so we're going to put that there. And I can already tell when I put the water in that other corner, it's going to flow out and mirror this. So there'll be water there and water there. So I need to clear this out and get a block here and a block here, and then they will come down like so. There's another trick with torches. You want to fill in the sides. Can't quite reach there. Like I can't reach the right side of this block so that I can put one down. And yeah, I could just go here and place the block there, but that wouldn't give me the opportunity to show you this trick. So there's the torch here. Put your mouse on the right side. Boom. How cool is that? That can be really useful when you're getting shot at, because you don't have to step out into the gap where they can shoot you. Those little tricks can really keep you alive in hardcore. And in fact, I'm thinking about maybe doing a separate video series that is just tips for playing hardcore. We'll have to see. Oh man, I don't want to flood the place. Oh, but I'm close to my spring. I'll just grab it from here and harvest my melons. Yay, food. I can't live without you. Oh no, no. Oh no. Oh no. You know, watermelon, it's no bacon, that's for sure. But by golly, it's tasty. Drop off some stuff we don't need. And you might be wondering why on earth I'm even bothering turning a spider spawner into a grinder like this. Two reasons. One, just to prove that it can be done, because so many people you just automatically break them without even thinking about it, and you know, they might actually be useful. You don't have to necessarily always break them. It can be a good thing to have around if done right. And the other reason is, well, because of the materials. String I can turn into wool, and wool is a building block, and so eventually I might consider the fact that I might never have sheep in this map, and so if I want to build stuff with colored blocks, and since wool is the way to go for that, I'm going to need a source of wool. So we saw that pattern. There was 3 here that it wasn't covering, so I'm just breaking the blocks one back from that. You see what I've done, the shape that I've made? I need to fill in the hole down here, or I'll get all sorts of... Oh, I'm going to have to go down there and fix torches again, aren't I? That's annoying. Alright, so you just kind of need to make sure, when you're working with the water here, you can see where it's flowing. And granted, different texture packs look different, but still, no matter what texture pack you're doing, you should be able to see the flow of the water. And what you want to make sure is that there's no stationary spots. Like sometimes if you do it wrong, the spot in the corner won't flow out like that. It'll flow like into the corner and stay there. That means that mobs will get trapped there. But if I just let go of all my buttons, you can see that I float right down here. And like I said, spiders can climb walls, so they're gonna jump up and down and derp quite a bit. But you know, eventually they just get inevitably carted down this way and down the tube. And yeah, and that's where we will kill them. Let's put a cap on that, light it up. Gotta make sure it's good and lit. It is disastrous to have them spawn in a spot that you didn't intend them to spawn, which is really easy to do if you're not being careful. And it's hardcore. It's hardcore, right? So you better be being careful. So you only get one shot. Okay, so here we are with them flowing down. Now let's see how far this water actually goes. Looks like this will be the end. Let's confirm that. Yes. Oh, and I don't like the sand there. There we go. Okay. So we know exactly where that ends. So if you've never done this before, then you're going to be wondering, well, how the crap am I going to stop the spiders from jumping out? And killing me. Well, let me tell you. What do I know? I don't need that. We're going to do it with fence. So, you got to decide where you want to attack them from, and I want the spiders to pull up right on this block here. And so I'm going to put a fence post right there. So we've already got this channel here. They're going to be pushed down here. Yeah. Alright, so they're going to be pushed down here. Probably going to reshape that a little bit, but the fence is the key to all of this. I'm telling you, before you play hardcore, you have no idea how useful fence posts are. Like, I always liked, in hardcore anyway, I like keeping one on me, at least one. So even if I'm not building, it's still incredibly useful. You know what, let me pop down here quick and just make sure the torches didn't get washed away too much. Oh, it looks like they did. That's a problem. Oh, and I just made the problem worse. Okay. Well, that's what I get for putting some of the torches on the floor. Bad move. And this, the kind of thing that can completely ruin water flow. So I'm going to have to get in there and check to make sure that it's still flowing appropriately. Okay, alright, so close this off. Boom. Okay, so we've got a little room here. Alright, so spiders will come right down there. They're going to hit this fence post, and they're not going to be able to get out on the sides. I hope. As far as I know, they can't get through that unless there's some sort of a chunk error, and you can see that we're there's a chunk line just to the left of me, but not right here, so it should be good. Alright, so let me get in here. So that's a too high channel. I think I want to, yeah, I definitely want. Alright, so the dicey part is turning the lights off without dying. So let's make sure everything is set. Alright, water still looks good. It'll flow down here. I'm just going to keep this open for now, and then when all the lights are out, I'll come down the channel and plop that down after the fact. Wish me luck. Here's where I turn the lights on and promptly wish that I hadn't. Standing here-ish is fairly safe because they'll mostly flow the other direction. But thing is right now all the spiders can go right out into that room, which is not ideal. So I'm gonna do this as quickly as I can, so the least amount of them spawn as possible. I'm already getting nervous. I'm already getting poisoned. It's alright, to be expected. Alright, we're We're doing good. Boom. Okay. Alright. Should be safe. Everybody get killed. Back to that later. Plug all these holes, making me nervous. Okay, I also want to move this wall back so I have a little bit more room. I can hear him. I can hear him scuttlebutting. Scuttlebutt. That is a excellent album by Stevie Ray Vaughan. Alright, you. You can't get out, can you? Ugh. Those green colors. But I can hit him just fine. The other great thing is that the loot goes right through the fence post. So I went through a lot of iterations of designs for how to do this trap, and that was a big problem with most of them, is that the loot, like, you know, you can devise a system where the spiders are there and you can hit them and whatnot, but then the loot would be trapped, and sometimes even the EXP would be trapped inside. And so I remember one time I set up this whole system with redstone and pistons to like control the water flow back and forth and yada yada, and it's all just overly complicated. All you need is one fence post. I'm worried about them getting pushed so hard that they get through there. That's my fear, and I don't know if it's possible or not, but for good measure I'm going to try to kill them as much as I can. All I have to do is step forward and I can grab the loot. Now, if I, you know, like I said, if I was doing this later on when I had more time and materials, I would do this a bit differently. And I mean, this is crude, you know. And right here is an example. You can see that he is derping around in the corner. And I just killed him through a block. I just killed two of them through a block, which is so weird to me. But everything seems to work. There comes the XP and the loot from the spiders I killed. Bloop. You gotta be careful, because when you walk up to the fence post, they can hit you. So you just kind of gotta wait until there's not a spider up there, and then smack him. Yeah. Alright, folks. Well, I think that's going to have to do it for this episode, as we're already past a half an hour. But thank you very much for watching. I would love to see your own attempts at taming a spider spawner like this. Because really, I think it's a crying shame that everybody just automatically destroys these things. I mean, even in hardcore, it can be worth it. I mean, check it out. I've already got 12 string. That's already enough for a bed or 4 pieces of wool, and I've just barely started. Of course, I don't know how much string I have in my chest at the base, but you get the point. You know, if you stood at this a while. And now I'm getting nervous. They're not enough for coming through, so I'm gonna come. Oof. I think there might be a roadblock of some kind. I'm gonna have to get in there and check it out. But that will be for next time. Alright, I'm going to call it here, and next time I will troubleshoot this a bit, see if I can get them to flow a little better, and yeah, and then we'll decide then what we're going to do after this. I'm thinking just general mining, perhaps. So we need to get diamonds so we can get to the nether. Because the nether is going to be a key to our travel, and hopefully finding some animals. So yeah, so that should be good times. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time.